Hey guys, welcome to 10.2b Arithmetic Series. So with this one, we're going to be using the arithmetic sequence formula, but we're going to be finding the series. So just like last time, this is where we're going to be adding all of the terms in the sequence up to a certain point. So remember that when we denote a series, we use S of n. So for this one, the formula is going to be S of n equals n, so whatever term we're trying to go up to, and then in parentheses, it's a of 1, so the first term in the sequence, plus a of n, which would be whichever specific term you're trying to go up to. So if we're trying to find s of 10, we're going to find the 10th term in the sequence, and then we're going to divide that by 2. So consider this arithmetic series, 20, 18, 16, 14. So they're going down, which we want to be conscious of. So to get from 20 to 18, it's going to be to add negative 2. And then negative 2 again, so it's going down by 2 each time. So we want to find the sum of the first 25 terms. So this is going to be S of 25 equals, and then our n is 25, because that's how many total terms there are. A of 1 is the first term, which we see here is 20, plus, now a of n we don't know. We're going to have to actually solve for this. With this series, we have to do a little bit more work than we did with the geometric. And we're going to divide that by 2. So basically, you're finding the average of the first term with the average of the last term. Now, to find a of n, that's the same formula as the sequence formula. So in this case, we need to find a of 25. And remember that the general formula, I'll write it off to the side here, a of n equals d times n plus a of 0. So the common difference is going to be negative 2. The nth term is going to be, our n value is 25, and then we need to solve for a of 0. And a of 0 we can find by just going backwards. So we take 20 plus 2, do the opposite, we get 22. So that means that this is 22. So a of 25 is going to be negative 50 plus 22, which is negative 38. Or excuse me, negative 28. Now we're going to take that and we're going to plug it into our formula up here. So S of 25 equals 25 times 20 plus negative 28, all divided by 2. So we're just finding the average. Now this one, you can probably do a lot of this without a calculator. So 20 plus negative 28 is going to be negative 8 divided by 2, which is 25 times negative 4, which actually just ends up equaling negative 100. Now, for some of the later examples, I will use a calculator, but this one was pretty easy to do without. All right, here's our next one. Consider the arithmetic series 2 plus 6 plus 10 plus 14. Notice we are going up by 4 each time. So fill out what you know in the general formula. S of 20, excuse me. So we're finding 20 terms. The first term is 2. So we're just filling out this formula again. First term is 2 plus a of 20, which we still need to solve for, and we're going to divide that by 2. So a of 20 is going to be, the common difference is 4. The n value is 20. So remember, we're using this formula over here. And then a of 0 would be if we went backwards. So 2 minus 4 is going to be negative 2. So we're going to subtract 2. So we're going to get 80 minus 2, which is 78. So that's 78. We're going to take that, and we're going to plug it in up here. S of 20 equals 20 times 2 plus 78 divided by 2. 2 plus 78 is 80. We're going to take half of that, so we end up getting 20 times 40, which ends up being 800. This is what you get when you multiply those out. All right, just a couple more here. Consider the arithmetic series 30 plus 25 plus 20 plus 15 plus And then it says find the sum of the first 14 terms. So when we want to find the sum, again, we're using that same formula. S of 14 equals, 14 is the n value. I should probably rewrite this just so we see it again. S of n equals n, a of 1 plus a of n divided by 2. So a of 1 is 30, that first term, and we're going down by 5, so we have a minus 5. 30 plus a of 14, which we don't know yet. So then to find a of 14, our common difference is negative 5. The n value is 14. And if we go backwards 5, we would actually add 5 to 30, which would be 35. So a of 0 would be 35. And we just solve this. Negative 5 times 14 is negative 70. Plus 35, which equals negative 35. Take that, substitute it into the series formula. Get 14, 30 minus 35 divided by 2. It's going to be negative 5 divided by 2. 14 times negative 2.5. And I'm just going to do this. I believe it's going to be 35. Negative 2.5 times 14. And we do get negative 35. All right. That's how we do that one. All right, the last example. A construction company is laying a natural gas pipeline. Several sections of pipe have been laid in a pile at the construction site. There are 12 sections of pipe in the bottom row of the pile. Each row has one less pipe than the row below it. It is decreasing arithmetically. And there are 8 rows of pipe. So we want to write a rule for the number of pipe sections in the nth row. Whenever you have a problem like this, you might want to start out just thinking about the pattern. So it says there are 12 sections of pipe in the bottom row. So that's our very first one. And then it's going down by one less each row. So then it would be 11, 10, and you kind of get the idea. So we're going down by 1 each time. So our common difference is going to be negative 1. So we want to write a rule for the number of pipe sections in the nth row. So this is going to be a of n if we're looking for a specific row. So the common difference is negative 1. So it's negative 1 n plus, and then we need to think about, well, a of 0 would just be 12 minus that negative 1, which would end up being plus 1, so it's 13. So there's the general rule for the nth term. Then we want to find the number of pipes in row 8. So we're going to find the a of 8, negative 1 times 8 plus 13, and that ends up being 5 for our answer on that one. Now we want to find the total number of pipe sections in the pile. So that is going to be S of 8, because there's only 8 in total. So it's going to be 8 times our a of 1, the first term, which we got to go back up here. That is 12 plus, we just found the a of n. Our a of n is a of 8, and we just solved for that to be 5. So we were able to skip a step in this one. We're going to divide that in half. So this one we get 12 plus 5 is 17 divided by 2, and half of 17 is 8.5. And when we multiply those together, we should get 68, I believe, but we'll do this just to be safe. And it is 68. And that's going to be 68 pipe sections, since this is a word problem, between all 8 rows. And there we go. We are done with the